Okay, the first goal here is to really get you understanding what plans are in the health insurance market. When someone goes to quote, you're going to see hundreds upon hundreds of health insurance quotes. And when you go look at one, you're looking at very specific information. The idea here is to stay very general at first. So we're going to put plans into 3 simple, easy to understand categories. You're going to get a feel for where the value is, for where the waste might be, and how you can best go about getting a plan that's going to be effective cost-wise and get you the best possible coverage. The first plan that we're going to look at, or the first category, is we're going to call this a loaded plan. Again, these are very general categories, so have that in mind as we work through. Loaded plans are the plans that people are used to having over the years. There's usually 2 parts to a loaded plan. There's the hospitalization and outpatient and the day-to-day. We'll look at what your deductibles and co-insurances are on a loaded plan, as well as what your copays might be, and then we'll look at what the health insurance company pays. Deductibles on loaded plans are really quite low. $250 or $500 is really the norm, maybe $1,000 today. These are annual deductibles, and the most you'll see on a loaded plan is 2 deductibles per family per year. If you need any more information, go to our associated PDF file. It'll explain it more, but this is kind of the general idea. There's only 2 per family. Once you've paid your deductible, there's usually an area where you share bills with the insurance company. This is called co-insurance. And on a loaded plan, they're split up on 90-10 or 80-20 ratios. You as a policyholder are responsible for the 10 or the 20%. On a loaded plan, that number is really, really low. It might add up to another $1,000. And again, you'd go through co-insurance twice as a family. At that point, you'd move into 100% coverage, and the coverage on a loaded plan is very comprehensive. It's high quality. There's few limitations, and expectations are met. Usually, over the years, we've seen people that have had loaded plans are very comfortable with the coverage. They like how it works. It goes smoothly. There's a second portion, which is the day-to-day coverage. These are things that happen outside of the hospital or outside a facility. It's going to be things like doctor visit copays. On loaded plans, these are really quite low, $10, $15, $20, $25 maybe, and then the health insurance pays the rest. On a day-to-day, in a loaded, these plans are unlimited in 2 areas. They're going to be unlimited in number, so the number of times you need to use that copay throughout the year does not matter. And it's also unlimited in scope. So the reason you're going into the doctor does not matter on a loaded plan. It might be sickness, it could be wellness, it could be immunizations for kids. It doesn't matter on a loaded plan. It's really high quality, and it doesn't really matter. And that will contrast to what we see on some of the other plans that we'll show you here. You're also going to have a prescription card. It's very normal to have a $10 copay for generics. Brand names, probably around $25 on a loaded plan. Very simple, easy to use, low out of pocket for the consumer. These plans now cost about $1,000 per month at work. Or if you were to buy something like this on your own with low deductible and low co-insurance, you could pay that much for a full family. What's interesting to note is that this top portion of a loaded plan costs around $500, and as does the bottom. So these 2 sections are really divided up. In our research over the years, we've seen that this day-to-day, or what we call the prepaid area of health insurance, is very, very expensive, and this is where a lot of money is spent. Okay, now that's a loaded plan. We'll compare it to balanced plan in part 2.